What is up, fellow agency owners? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I want to share with you how we test ads at my agency in order to find the winning ads as cheaply and as easily as possible. If you don't know me, my name is Alex. I am a 19-year-old kid from Norway, and I run a 20K a month agency where our main focus is delivering an amazing service to our clients. We have developed super cool systems and structures for testing ads and scaling ads, which I will be sharing with you in this video. Let's just jump straight to the computer. This is our internal testing structure for testing ads on Facebook in order to find the winning ads. It's worth mentioning that this whole system is for a single product. So every time you want to test a new product, you have to set this system up again, because if you begin mixing different products in this mix, you're just not going to get any accurate data. So this system is for a single product at a time. It is divided into 3 phases: top of funnel testing, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, or retargeting, and a scaling stage. So the main idea is that in the top of funnel testing, we will find the winning ads. Then we will move them over to the scaling stage, where we will be scaling those ads up in order to make them spend more money, because scaling is not just about giving the ad more money. You have to have a bit of a more complex system, because if you just give it more money, it will burn through it and the ad will die out. So we will be covering that a bit later. I would like to start with the top of funnel testing. This happens in 2 stages. First of all, it is the creative testing, and second of all is the audience testing. So creative testing is where we test the image or the video. So by creative, I mean an image or a video. And in here we have the following structure. We have an ad set with the first image or the first video. I will be calling it creative from now on. So with the first creative and a safe targeting. So since we have not tested the audience targeting yet, we don't know which audience is going to be the best, but you should have a pretty good understanding of what a safe audience for your product is. So if you are selling makeup, for example, you will probably know that the target audience is women in the age 18 to 34. So just choose something safe, something simple, something that's not too complex, and that you know will work. And we will run this in this testing phase. So here you run creative 1 with ad copy 1 and ad copy 2. So this is an ad set, and within this ad set you have 2 ads which both have the same creative but different ad copies. We usually start by testing long form versus short form copy. So the first one has a super short copy where we just describe the product or the benefits in a couple of sentences. Then we have a call to action at the end. And in ad copy 2, we have a long form copy where we have a small intro, then we have a small explainer, then we usually do a couple of bullet points with the benefits, and then we end off with a call to action. So we test ad copy 1 versus ad copy 2 within this ad set. Then we have a copy of this entire ad set just with a different creative. So the ad copy is the exact same, but we have a different image or a different video. And what's going to happen here is that we at the same time is going to figure out which creative is the best and which ad copy is the best. So on the ad set level, we will see which creative is the best, and on the ad level, we will see which ad copy is the best. And this is of course based on the data that you collect. So it's the cheapest purchase, cheapest leads, lowest cost per click, whatever the KPIs are that you are going for. So let's say that we have found that this one is the best creative 1 with ad copy 2. It gets moved over to the audience testing, and here we basically repeat the same process, just with testing the audience. And if you know how Facebook works, the audience is tested on the ad set level. So we just put this ad in its own ad set, and here we are going to be testing different targetings. So first of all, we usually like to test 5% lookalike of the purchase audience. Then we like to test an interest audience and a second interest audience. If you have any special ideas or any cool ideas, of course, you can change this up. This is just like a super basic template that you can use for your own testing process. But if you have any ideas of what could work better than interest or lookalike, you can, of course, switch this up. So you just have 3 ad sets, which are the exact same ad, 3 copies, just with different targeting, where you are then testing the targeting for this specific ad. After this ad has been spending for about a week, we recommend a minimum of $20 a day for each ad set. So $20, $20, $20, $60 a day for 7 days. Then you have probably enough data to be able to determine which is the winner, because it is super important that you actually base this on real data. If you just let it run for half a day and one of them gets a purchase, you can't be choosing that one. You have to give it some time. You have to let it get at least 10, 15, 20 purchases in order to be able to determine which ad is the best. Once we have determined that this one works best, just like, again, theoretically, this one works best, we move it over into the scaling stage. And here we have a couple of different campaign types that we use for the scaling process. I could explain this super deeply, but I'll just do the main parts in this video. I will probably be recording a special video on scaling as well. If it's already out, you will find a link down in the description. So we use an ABO dupe scale and a CBO dupe scale. So we always start with an ABO, and an ABO is an ad set budget optimization campaign. That means that you are changing the budget of the ads on the ad set level, not on the campaign level. So both are an option in Facebook. An ABO is, as I said, a campaign where you optimize the budget on the ad set level. So here we have this new winning ad set. As you can see, this is the ad set that won. It then gets moved over to an ABO. And here you just begin increasing the budget until you see that the ROAS begins dropping super drastically. So at some point, the CPA will begin rising because you have used up your entire audience. And at that point, you have scaled this as much as possible in the ABO. And the cool thing is that you keep this testing process going all the time, and all the time you are feeding new ads into this ABO. So with time, you will have a lot of ads in this ABO. And in an ABO, you can have as many ads as you want, because each ad set gets its own budget, so there is no limit. You can add as many as you want. As long as they are performing, you can keep adding to the ABO. And the second strategy for scaling ads is a CBO. So a CBO is a campaign budget optimization campaign. This is where you give the entire campaign a budget, and then Facebook itself will allocate this budget to the different ad sets in this campaign. The cool thing about this is that Facebook will give the most money to the ad sets that are performing the best. So all of the ad sets in here should be winners, but the winner of the winner will get the most budget, and in that way you can also scale the account. But here it is super important to remember that you can max have 10 ad sets, because if you have more than 10 ad sets, some of them just won't get a chance, because you will need giant budgets in order to be able to sustain more than 10 ad sets. So once you have done this testing process enough times to be able to have 10 winning ad sets in this CBO dupe scale, you have to just make a new CBO dupe scale. So this is a CBO dupe scale 2. And in this one, what we do is that we combine the winning ads from this CBO dupe scale into singular ad sets. So if you have creatives that are similar or are using the same audience, so if you have two ad sets that are using the same audience just with different ads, you put those two ads in under the same ad set, and again, in that way you can scale the account. So again, a maximum of 3 ads under each ad set, and a maximum of 10 ad sets in this campaign. So the biggest CBO scaling campaign that you should ever have is 10 ad sets with 3 ads in each one. And I hope at this point that you have super high budgets, like $800, $1,000, $1,500 a day minimum, because otherwise, as I said, you just won't have enough budget to be able to sustain this scaling process. So that is really quickly how we scale, not really part of the video, but again, now you know how to scale ads as well. The third part of this whole system is the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel ads. So those are the retargeting ads that you are running to your website visitors, to your ad engagers, to your Facebook page engagers. So like everyone who has engaged with your business in some way, you can retarget to. And these can be combined if you have a moderate budget, and you should separate the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel if you have a large budget. So this is all about retargeting. As I said, we engage a warm and a medium warm audience to collect the low hanging fruit. So people who are already like ready to purchase but still have not done it, they just need that little push. We do it through these ads. So here we have a couple of different ad sets that we like to begin with. So this is again a lookalike audience, 50 to 95% lookalike of whatever your website visitors. It could be your purchasers. Again, a lookalike audience is not a true retargeting. It is a signal that you give Facebook, like this is what my purchasers usually look like, and Facebook tries to find new audience based on that signal, but everything else are actual retargeting audiences. So this is, for example, view content plus add to cart plus initiate checkout. So everyone who has viewed content, added to cart, or initiated checkout will get these ads. Anyone who has engaged with your Instagram or Facebook page will get these ads, and all the visitors for your page will get these ads. And these ads should be the exact same under each ad set. Again, that way you will find out which targeting works the best, because the targeting is the most important part of a retargeting campaign. And second of all, you will find out which ad is working the best for those people. And the super important thing to keep in mind when making retargeting ads is that people already know your brand. They already know who you are, what you are selling. Your only job is to actually convince them to buy from you. And this we can do by tackling fundamental objections. So if someone hasn't bought from you, it is because of some fundamental objection. Either they don't need your product, either they don't trust you, the price is too high, the shipping policy is unclear, whatever it is, they have some type of objection deep within them, and you have to tackle that objection. So the first step to running a successful retargeting campaign is actually mapping out what the fundamental objections of your customers are. You can do surveys of other customers, you can look at patterns, you can look at what works the best on your website. If a special landing page converts more customers than another one, maybe it has some type of info that is super important to people that is not present on the other pages. Whatever it is, you have to find those fundamental objections. I can't help you with this in this video because it is super personal to each business, but usually it is not a super difficult process. You just have to think about the product, think about what type of objections people have, and maybe go out and actually ask people what their main objections are in order to find them. And once you have them, you have to make ads that answer those objections. So you could just have a call out like, this perfume is not tested on animals. And then you explain like how it's made or something, because animal testing could be an objection that someone has. And in this way, you tackle that and say, this is not tested on animals, and the person will feel a lot more comfortable buying the product. So you get the point. Test 3 fundamental objections with 3 to 4 different targeting audiences, and at the end you will find a winner. Here I recommend that you keep a couple, not just a single ad with a single targeting, but as I said, you should keep a couple of ad sets, because retargeting audiences always have to be filled up. So if you just have one single ad set with one targeting that you give all the budget, you will just burn through the entire retargeting audience. And at some point, it just won't convert anymore, because the frequency will be so high because you burn through the entire audience and you will be showing the same ad over and over and over again. So here you need to give Facebook a bit more variation. Even though one of the targetings could be doing a bit worse than the other ones, you still have to keep it in order to not burn out the other ones. Some common objections that people have to buying a product is that they are not sold on the benefits. In this case, you can summarize the main benefit and desired dream scenario or dream outcome. Second of all, it could be that they are not sold on whether it actually works. So show social proof and authority. And always assume that the recipient already knows your brand in retargeting. So as I said, they have already been on your website, they have already engaged with your Facebook or Instagram page, so there is no point in explaining who you are and what you are selling. You will just be wasting the real estate of the ads. The main goal of this campaign is just to get the person to actually get over the line and actually go to the website and buy your product or your service. I also have a graphical representation of what this testing process looks like, and it looks something like this. So we start off by testing the creative, as you probably remember from this system. So we start with the creative testing. Here we run creative A versus creative B. This is the creative that this company was already running before us, and this is the creative that we came in and made. As you can see here, the creative 2 was the winner with the best statistics based on what Facebook reported back to us. Then we go over to the text testing, or I guess it happens at the same time, but for this demonstration, I'm gonna divide it into 2 different parts. Here we test a short form copy versus a long form copy. And as you can see here, creative 2 with text 2, which is the long form copy 1. So we have found that this creative works the best with this long form copy text. And then we go over to the audience testing. Here we were testing academic interest versus a 5% lookalike audience, because remember, lookalike is not actual retargeting. It is just a retargeting signal that you give to Facebook, so we can test that in the audience if we'd like, because this, as I said, is not retargeting. Here we found out that audience to 1, which is the interests academic, and as simple as that, it only took us about 10 days. We have found that this ad works the best with this copy, with this targeting. And in this way, we have found a winning ad, which we then move over to the scaling, where we will be increasing the budgets and earning our clients a lot of money. That was it. If you have any questions to how this system works, please leave them down in the description. And if you found this video valuable, make sure to join my school group, which you will find a link to down in the description. In there, you can ask me questions about anything related to business, SMMA. I will be hosting weekly Q&A calls, which you can join. It is completely free, so you don't have to whip out your card to pay anything, at least for now. It will be paid in the future, but if you join now, it will stay free for you forever. Other than that, have an amazing day, and I will see you next Monday.